Hi everyone, welcome to another album flip through. So once again, in March, I was able to travel to Illinois and spend some time with both my kids. They both had spring break. And so like last time when I did the traveling, I took a scrapbook kit with me that I had made from my stash. I was going to try to film a stash video, but I ended up using most of the paper that I couldn't actually film a stash video or a video of what I made in that kit. But I think you'll see as we go through here what I used and how I was able to use it. So I used another one of the reflections or recollections from Michael's. These albums are like 70% off when you go in, and they're not the highest quality big D-ring albums, but if you're doing projects, I really like them because they're fun and they're colorful, and they're really good for smaller kind of travel albums for me, and that's what I'm using them for, and I really enjoy them. So this particular album is a set of pictures, a trip we took to St. Martin in 2016, and I start off with just kind of a cover page. This particular paper was in my stash. It's been in there for a long time. So are these fabric stickers and this sticker set down here. So what you're going to see is I used a lot from my stash that may have been up to like 10 years old. Before we went to St. Martin, we actually did a couple of things. The first of which was a Hall & Oates concert. So we had been driving down towards New Haven in Connecticut, and the billboard advertised Daryl Hall and John Oates concert, and they were on my bucket list, and I was like, I wonder if we can get tickets. And I went and bought tickets and then realized, oh, that's 2 days before we leave from New York to go to St. Martin. We ended up just putting it all together. I came to Connecticut a little bit early because at that point I didn't live here. And I was able to go to the concert and still go to St. Martin. So it worked out perfectly. It was one of the best concerts we've been to. The music was wonderful. The environment was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. After that, we also went to Coney Island. We were getting on a plane early and decided instead of driving to New York the day we were traveling, we would go to New York a day early. I have also never been to Coney Island, so that was on my list. So we did that. So we spent one day just kind of walking around Coney Island. Got to ride the Ferris wheel, got to eat some food. Of course, we did a brewery while we were there. So what you're seeing here is more kind of paper from my stash. I think all of this was from my stash. There's some things you're starting to see from a kit that I got, a page kit that I got that was brand new, Up and Away, I think, or Go and Explore. And I got a few pieces of paper, this is one of them, from them, and an ephemera set. So I kind of made a travel kit of just a bunch of different papers. I also brought my beer paper because I knew I was going to have beer pages to do, because that's just one of the things we always do when we go out. So that ends kind of the Coney Island part. And then we start on some of the St. Martin pictures. So you'll see I did some stamping on this and worked out well. Just some things we did when we were at Phillipsburg. This is just some of the drinks from Phillipsburg. Here's one of those little ribbons, puffy pom-pom ribbons, that seem to be pretty popular in some of the kits this winter. And because I had ordered the kits, I got these pom-poms and I had no idea what I was going to use them for. So I threw them in the kit that I was taking with me, and I just tried to find a way to make them work. One of the really neat things that's in St. Martin is an exhibit called the Yoda Guy exhibit, or the movie exhibit and show. And this particular gentleman was one of the puppeteers that created Yoda, and you can see him down here. And he also created some of the other kind of special effects and things in movies. One of the things we discovered is he was one of the people responsible for part of the original Highlander movie, which happens to be something that John and I both love, is Highlander. So it was really neat to be there and kind of meet this man and talk to him, and then see all the kind of movie exhibits unexpectedly in the middle of St. Martin. I had so many pictures that I ended up just kind of making a flip over here with just some washi tape. I just put washi tape on each picture and made a flip, and that way People can see more pictures. I didn't, originally I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll just add a Project Life page, but because this album is a post album, it's really hard to take pages in and out. So this was a good opportunity for me just to kind of see more of what we did in St. Martin without creating a big mess of having to take this all the way apart. We also did a zip line, or what we thought was a zip line. It ended up being a ropes course. So that was a lot more work than we thought it was going to be. So you'll see some pictures there. It was more of work than we originally thought. So we didn't actually have our cameras on us during the zip lining. But it did get a couple of pictures, and it was really neat, but really hard. Butterfly Farm, another one of the things we did while we were there. And so I did take a big set of paper to my parents' house to be able to scrapbook, but I didn't have a lot of 2 pages that were the same, 2 kinds of paper that were the same. And I really wanted to use this floral paper on the butterfly because I just thought it kind of matched wood, weathered kind of pattern. And what I ended up doing is I cut this out as a border, and there's an 8.5 by 11 piece of white card in the middle. So all of this paper was one sheet of 12 by 12. And that was basically the only way that I could make this page work with cohesion and still only have that one piece of 12 by 12 paper. So I like the way it turned out. It's not 100% what I wanted, but I'm glad I was able to make it work. Sunny Days, Maggie Holmes collection. I think it's Maggie Holmes collection. I used some of that paper. I had just purchased it. I'm really happy with it. And then I combined it with like this puffy sticker, probably K & Company, I think, it has to have been in my stash since I started scrapbooking in 2005, maybe. It's been there a long time. So this was one of my oldest pieces of ephemera or stickers, and I finally used it on a layout, and I was pretty excited about that. These tags were also from Maggie Holmes, and you'll see I've got some flowers. I did some fussy cutting here, used a couple of different alphas. So a funny story is I thought I had brought all of this alpha, and actually I had 2 sets of white alphas that I thought I had brought with me. What I ended up bringing is the A through M in one font and the L through Z in another font of 2 different white alphas. So I didn't actually have one set of either alpha. It was kind of funny and kind of irritating when I got there. Just some more. You'll see this collection down here, which is the new collection, and I will look it up and put it in the video. Fabric stickers are another one of the things that were in my collection forever. Some washi tape. I just tried to use as much as I can. And what you'll see here on this is another one of the situations where I didn't have enough of a 12 by 12 paper. But I took an 8.5 by 11 card, and this time I just used washi. So I used 4 different washis, and I just created a diagonal pattern on that washi and used that as the mat between the 12 by 12 paper. Just trying to make it work. And I really like how that turned out. This was actually the page I did first, and then I did the butterfly pages. So this is how I knew I could figure out how to do that butterfly page. So this is just some pictures from the beach at our resort, and it's just turned out great. I do have a few buttons up here. I'm trying to use up my buttons. The beach in St. Martin is kind of famous for the planes landing really close, right over people's heads. And so we sat there and took a few pictures, and it was really cool just to see that Maho Beach. And you'll see a couple more of those little pom-poms. I use those there. Some fussy cutting of that Sunny Days collection down here. And this was actually a stamp, ink road stamp that I got as a gift from someone's Patreon page. So that was really great, and I was able to use that and kind of make my own collection or make my own background for that. This page was just kind of summing up kind of the vacation we took, and I really like how this turned out, and I like a lot about this trip because it was kind of a low-key trip for us. We didn't have a lot of things planned, and we just kind of hung out. And then finally we end with us heading home. So this is the last page. Now if you'll notice, I have a lot of pages left in this album. I think what I'm going to end up doing is adding another trip we did. It's a cruise that we took. So another kind of summary vacation. I think I'm going to just put that in here and finish out the album that way so I don't have to go in and take out these pages. But I think that'll be great. It'll just kind of flow with some of our beach vacations. So hopefully you enjoyed my flip through, and hope you guys have a great day. Bye.